everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Amy and I am here with a haul video. I'm melting, you guys. The air conditioner has been out since Monday. Today is Wednesday. It's currently 85 degrees in here. I have an attic fan, but that really doesn't really help a whole lot when it's hot outside. So the repair guy just left, and $391 later, it's working now, but it's gonna take a long time to cool this house off. So I figured I'd come on and say hi to you guys. How are you? I hope you're having a better day than I am. I cannot tell you how excited I am to be going on vacation on Sunday. Someplace that is clutter-free and has an indoor pool, like a private indoor pool for this house, and hopefully some good food. So I need to make sure to take my Mounjaro shot tonight so that it doesn't affect my food eating ability while we are gone. But yeah, so because I'm so hot, and this really isn't going to sound like it makes any sense, but Jason took everybody, well, not everybody, most people, most of the family to the drive-in movie tonight, which is going to be just as hot as this, except I guess you'd have the airflow. But with the airflow, you get all the bugs. So I only like going to the drive-in in the spring and the fall when it finally does get cool once the sun goes down. But yeah, so I'm sitting here, my feet are kind of swollen because it's been 3 days of it's so hard to sleep when it's hot. Oh, listen to me complain about my first world problems. All right, well, I am sitting on Jason's side of the bed today because one of the things that I thrifted yesterday was a calyx shelf, the kind from IKEA that I've really been wanting one, but they're not very cheap, you guys. Let me look up and see. I looked it up on IKEA's website, and I got the one that I found was a 4x2, and it retails for, hold on a second, let me put my do not disturb on. It retails for $80. Yeah, the lighting in this room or over here is weird too. So it retails for $80. So it's sitting in here in my bedroom over on my side of the room, but I have it standing upright. Well, I've got it tall instead of long. And so there's a ton of stuff on my side of the bed that I'm going to be placing in there. And I can't remember if I told you guys, but Jason had found an insert for a calyx shelf at the bins, and we just bought it because we were like, well, even if someday we get like a knockoff calyx shelf, we could put it in there. And it's like a 9 divider thing. You understand what I'm saying? And so now I have a place to put it, but I gotta find it. But so what did I pay for that calyx shelf? I paid $20. So $20 instead of $80 seemed like a really good price. And it's funny because when I found it at a Savers yesterday, and we had found one of the knockoff ones there that was like a 3x3. And Jason's like, well, do you want to get that? Because it was, I don't know, it was maybe $10 or $15 or something. And I'm like, the spaces don't seem as big as the calyx one. And if I eventually want to get the inserts, I don't want to get one that's too small. Not that you couldn't use it for something else, but so I was like, no, well, like right after I said that, we're walking up to the front to check out. We happen to be going kind of by the furniture section, and they're rolling out this calyx shelf. And so we go over, it's white. Well, yeah, they do sell it. It looks like they sell it in black and natural wood, but I always prefer white for that kind of thing. I don't know why, but so we went over to it and kind of jiggled it to see if it seemed like there were any structural problems with it, or cracks, or, you know, like a shelf that doesn't work or anything. And it seemed, I mean, it was dirty, but it didn't really wobble. And it, even after we got it into the van and then got it into the house, it still didn't wobble a whole, I mean, really. So I've got some really huge dictionaries that I use for my Junk for Goats business that I'm gonna put on the bottom shelves just to kind of help stabilize it. But yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. That was seemed like a really good deal. What other kind of deals did I get? Well, let me show you. Now, some of this stuff maybe you won't be too interested in. And I did get a lot of books at Savers, although to be real, Savers really probably is not a great place to buy thrift books. The bins are really the best place to thrift books. But even Goodwill is starting to get expensive on books. But I did find some books there that were in my botanical kind of theme. So I did, oh shoot, I got a book today at Ollie's too that I was going to show you, but oh well, that's fine. I don't think that bag got brought in here. Maybe it did. I don't know, because I don't know what's going on with my life. But anyway, I did pick up some books because there were some books that I found that are on my bucket list of books that I want to collect for myself. And then if I find a second one, I will break it down for sale. So I did find some of those, and just some that are just good to have for junk journaling. And there was this guy, this older gentleman. Well, I say older gentleman, shoot, he's probably my age. Like if you're looking at my hair, he's probably my age. And he was sitting on a stool and he had his shopping cart, and his shopping cart was full of books, and he was doing the scan thing. Because, you know, there's all these people now that go into the bins or thrift stores and scan the barcode of a book. Well, what are they trying to do? They're trying to see if places like thriftbooks.com or sellyourbooks.com, if those places, how much they will pay them for it. Because those places will buy books and they will pay the shipping. And I'm like, how would you make money on that? Finding books at Savers, because these books, I think the cheapest book is probably $1.99, and a lot of books that I've scanned, and maybe I just don't have the right books, when I scan them, it's like 28 cents, you know, and so there's no way you could make money on that. So maybe he's got a different purpose, but I thought this seems like the wrong place to, or maybe he needs a deduction on his taxes, and so he needs to have a business that loses money. So I don't know. But I did find another copy of this. Now, I don't know, some of you may remember, I showed this book on here before because this is one of my favorite books. And I had gotten super sick, like the sickest I had ever been one night. But we were supposed to go to Half Price Books because I knew Half Price Books had this book for like $22, and it retails for $35. And so Jason and Galia went and got it for me, and I was so excited because it's like the Pantone book of flowers. So it goes, you know, it has them all grouped, and it's just a whole page per flower. And then in the back, it's got all those same flowers in stamps, like they're perforated sheets. And so I was like thinking $22 was a really good price because you can still buy this on Amazon. Well, this one, $7.99. So now I feel stupid. Well, whatever. I feel stupid for buying the one from Half Price Books because, and I think I even said on that I think I had found one of these at the bins too, but I don't know if it was the same one or not. But anyway, so I picked it up because, heck, for $8 I will pick this up all day long, and now that I do have two, I can start putting these in journal kits and I really am gonna enjoy working with these little things. So yeah, so I picked that up, and like I said, I got several books. I have a few of them here that I'll show you, but I didn't. Most of them are not in here, so you can rest easy. Those of you that don't like looking at books. All right, then I found this set of cards, and it's like advertisement. It just says double deck advertising cards, and it was $3 for this. So the two different designs, it looks mid-century to me, and so I was excited about that because I'm always looking for new decks of cards that I can put in my shop. And if you're new to my channel, I have an Etsy shop called Junk for Goats, and the link is in the description below. And I am prepping for a major release on Labor Day weekend, and so I'm acquiring stuff right now, and I've decided I'm allowing myself to acquire things through the end of next week while we're on vacation, and then I'm gonna have to stop and start processing everything so that it's ready for my huge weekend sale. And there's gonna be everything that drops that weekend will be 20% off. So I'm looking forward to that, and we'll see how it goes. But then I got another deck of canasta cards. This one, they're cute, but they're both the same, which is unfortunate because I really prefer to have, I sell vintage swap cards is what we call them, where you get 2 cards for $1, which is apparently a cheaper price than what they show up on other places. But I like it when the two pairs are different, but that's okay. These were $8, so that's actually more expensive, but I don't see ones like this very often, and so I liked, it's kind of the transportation theme. And then Jason found this one for me yesterday for $1. So I showed on my last video, I think, a card that was like double wide this. And I was like, I really would like some kind of this size because I knew they existed, and he happened to find one, and for $1, shoot, yeah, that works great. And you guys, the place where he found that, so he and Gregory were kind of antiquing without me yesterday because I was at work, and I was in a meeting, so I couldn't really respond per se because I was on camera. I wasn't talking during this meeting, but I have to, look like I'm paying attention, right? Well, they sent me a couple pictures from this antique mall that we'd never been to before, and it was of this booth that had junk journal stuff, and they wanted to know if I wanted any. And I was looking, I was like, oh, those look like junk journal kits kind of thing. And it was like 35-piece kit for, some were $8, some were $10. And I was like, well, just get me a couple of those because I like getting other people's kits so I can kind of see what people like and can kind of tweak what mine will be. Oh my gosh, you guys, this was the biggest ripoff. And I can say this as a Temu hauler because most of the things in this kit are Temu items. Now, I love Temu items, and Temu crafts, but you guys, this packet here, $10. $10. All of this stuff is Temu or AliExpress or Shein or something. All of it. And you guys that buy stickers and stuff on Temu know that you can get a whole pack of stickers for less than $2. What did I pay for? And plus the picture they sent me made it look like it was letter size paper. And so I was like, oh, that looks like really cool. But and even though I could kind of zoom in on the picture, there was nothing really around it to give me a frame of reference for the size. But you guys, this is literally, when he gave me these, I was like, you've got to be kidding, because I would sell this for like probably $2. So $10. Now this was in a little town, and so maybe this is like I don't know, exciting for them, or you know, they don't see this kind of stuff. But you guys, I've bought the keys from Temu, so you get 2 keys, and then some of these are stickers, like we've seen. Well, that wasn't. This is just a piece of paper, and then the little fashion stickers, we've seen those. There's several just pieces of paper, and I'm like, oh my gosh. So whoever put this together, now granted, they had to buy several different sets to get these different pieces, but to sell it for $10, you guys, I literally thought I was getting full-size sheets of paper. I don't know what to say. I mean, okay, this one does have, looks like multiple pieces, but this is one of those pads that there's 2 of every page. So I got only 2 different pages. So yeah, I couldn't believe it. I was just like dumbfounded that somebody would mark that up so high. But then in fairness, I watch videos on Instagram, and most of these videos that I watch, people have, you know, are advertising for their Etsy store, and I'll be like, oh, that looks cute. And then I'll go to their Etsy shop and it's like $25, and I'm like, what? So I don't know. I guess I don't feel like I can charge prices like that. Maybe maybe once I get so many sales. I mean, I've got like over 100 sales, but that's not very much for an Etsy store. These people have like 5,000 sales kind of situation. So maybe at that point you can charge more, but I'm like, for my purposes, at first it was to de-stash, but now that I'm buying stuff, it's not really de-stashing. So it is to flip it, but it's not to flip it for 200% profit. I mean, I do give 10% of every sale to Compassion to buy goats for people in need. And so far we've bought 1 goat, but you have to sell like $1,000 worth of stuff to get enough for a goat, because it's $100 for a goat. But yeah, I'm like, oh man, it's gonna take me forever to kind of, because I want it to be affordable for people, because that's part of it. It's junk journaling. So I realize there are some things that we find that we might sell that are antiques or are really vintage items, but I'm always looking for ways to package it so that it's affordable. You know what I mean? So, okay, so then I found this, and actually this didn't have a price on it, so I'm not really sure what they charged me, but it's a floss caddy, and it had a few in there. I bought it pretty much for the caddy. I thought it was a different size than what I've got, but I also do like these little cards, and the fact that it came with some, you know, sure, I can put those in a pocket in a journal or whatever. So pick that up. But yeah, there's the second one, and it's all the same, from the same sticker packets. It's times like that where I feel so cheated and foolish and all those things. I don't know. It's just taken advantage of. Did I say that? So whatever, it is what it is. Okay, so here, got another 2 decks of cards that are ships, and this was $12. So this was actually a pricier. I really try not to spend more than $10 for 2 decks, but I made an allowance for this because I really liked the ships, so $12. And then this was marked $1 at the Salvation Army, but it was blue. It's blue this week, so I got it for 50 cents. I think maybe it's a makeup. I don't know. Maybe you guys know. It says Cake's Body, so yeah, I think it was, so maybe skincare or something. But I just got it for the box. What does it say? Say hello to that no bra feeling. Oh. As a small business, your support is a... Okay, so maybe it's those things you can use to pull yourself up without wearing a bra. I don't know. But yeah, I just liked the box. So, and it was 50 cents. And then more cards. We've got Washington Monument. I also don't tend to like buying single decks like this because then I got to figure out what other card would go with this. But somewhere, and I don't think I have it in here, I found a set of presidents, or maybe it's just George Washington. I don't know. But I figured that could go with the White House. And these are Congress cards, so it was worth the $2.50 to me to buy that. Okay, let's just get the cards out of the way while we're here. 2 unopened packs of, I don't know what the V8 is supposed to stand for, but yeah, so they have a really cool Joker, which I already have this Joker in my collection, so these will be going in the ones to sell. And then this deck of cards, I think this might have been a Temu kind of deck too, because it's kind of clear and it's like plastic and it's not really very exciting, but I think it was only $1. I mean, there's the Joker. So I don't know, and it sort of looks vintagey just because of the color, you know, since orange is pretty vintage. What was that orange colored called? Because you had mustard, was it mustard? Mustard and olive green and orange terracotta or something, I don't know. All right, then I found this set of flashcards. It was half price because it was blue. And Eric Carle, that's a popular guy. These are from 2008, so they're almost vintage. And I like the box, but the box is not in very good shape. It's kind of dinged up. But when I opened it, it's got these flashcards with his artwork on them. And then there's a set of 20. It goes up to 10 twice, but some are there's one set that's the number, and then there's one set that's the word. And I thought these would make good journal covers because, you know, it's an animal. So maybe I could put the 2 1s together and the 2 2s together, you know, for front and back, because it's a nice heavy board. And yeah, I thought that would make it cute. It would end up going, well, it wouldn't have to go sideways, but probably would go sideways. So yeah, so I thought that was cute, and all 20 of them were in here. So always looking for ways to repurpose and save things. So we found out this week that our Salvation Army is closing because the stupid landlord for them is, their lease was up and they're raising the price, and there's a lot of landlords in this area that are raising their price, probably all over, because not as many people need space anymore, because like so many companies, people work from home, and I don't know. So yeah, so we're losing, they're not moving to another location, they're just closing. So I'm super sad about that because I always find fun things in there. All right, next is this container. I got this at the Savers last night, and I bought it because it's Sterilite, and they don't make this particular design anymore. And we had bought, I think, a set of 10 of these because for my two older girls, when they were in elementary school, they each had a stack of 5 out in the living room, and I had labels on them for the 5 weekdays, and they would put their clothes for each day in them so that it was just easier for them to get ready. And they are really not, they're a really good size, but now Sterilite still makes, this plastic drawer kind of thing, but it's not the same. It's like this one's really boxy, and so it stacks well. And now they still stack, but they're thinner material, and the dimensions are different. And this one's just a really great size, especially for putting paper in, because if I have a bigger book, it holds those bigger size pages. So whenever I see these in the wild, I pick them up just because they don't make them anymore. But this one is full of stuff, but let's hold on to that, and let me get some of these. I can go through some of these pretty quick. So I got a Scrabble because everybody likes the Scrabble tiles. So I plan on putting some of these in my shop for my Labor Day sale. And I might also use them as, I kind of want to, like when somebody orders something from my shop, give them the letters as a freebie that make their name kind of idea. I don't know. We'll see what I actually do with them, but I like picking up Scrabble games when they're a decent price. This one, an old Monopoly. Well, I don't know how old it is, but it's the old shape box. It was $4.99, but it was half off since it's blue. And sorry, the Sterilite thing is now digging in. So let's just open it. So I plan to cut up the board and make journal or memo covers out of these. And then I plan to, I've seen some people make little memo card or memo books out of these. You kind of have to back them with some chipboard or something. But then that gives you like a small little one that you can keep in your purse, or they can just be sold in ephemera packs. Same with these. These will go in ephemera packs. And then I think I'm going to start a jar of this kind of stuff because I honestly don't know what to do with it, but it had the metal pieces with it, which a lot of times for some reason when you find these in thrift stores, those metal pieces are gone, probably because people collect them or whatever. And then the money is great because you can stick that in a journal and it's got lots of space to write on the back. So there's just about, I haven't figured out really what to do with the houses and hotels yet, but that's really the only piece. And some people sell that kind of thing in like a set with dice and other like sorry player pieces and all the other different plastic pieces in the games. They'll just put like a whole group of those from a variety of games together and sell them like that. I don't know what the people that buy those, I don't know what they do with them. Maybe they have a drill and they make charms or something out of them. Or I was going to say they probably aren't buying them just as replacement pieces, but maybe. And then these two were put together. I don't know what they cost, but yes, it's just an adult coloring book, but this one is different. Like, it didn't have that stark white paper, and the size is nice. So it kind of has a vintagey feel almost because it's, I don't know, it's the lines are not super dark. So I just really, really liked this one. And Love and Friendship, Adventures in Ink and Inspiration. So I really liked that because those can easily go in a journal. And after I opened up a ephemera kit with you guys from a different antique store, now I've like started collecting kind of loose pieces of paper so I can make mine. But then here's the other one. This is more of your traditional one. They're only on the front in case your color bleeds through. So these are nice to coffee and tea dye to kind of, ooh, that's pretty, to kind of tone them down a bit. And I'm hoping on vacation to be able to do some coffee dyeing. So I need to take this with me. And then in the magazine racket savers, I found this beauty. And this one is from October of '78. Now, I flipped through literally every page of this, which is, you know, fantastic. And I found, well, I probably won't be able to find, need any secret, ladies? There was a, oh, well, here, let's look at some fashion. I've got to find this, you guys, because the thing that was being advertised was something that I actually had as a child. It was my, like, baby plates. I don't know, what do you call it? I should have had it marked. Oh, Lipton cup of soup, and there's some pages that had coupons on them, which probably do not have an expiration date because they didn't really do expiration dates back then. There's a ton of cigarette ads because they hadn't stopped doing that yet. Where is it? I have to find it. I have to share the nostalgia. I've got some Kool-Aid in a can. I think I'm gonna start a Kool-Aid collection. I saw somebody that I watch on Instagram found a whole bunch of Kool-Aid packets from the 70s. And so she's making little journals where those are the covers. And you guys, okay, I would never do this, but she's charging $125 for these journals that she's making with these vintage Kool-Aid things, because Kool-Aid is such a popular, here's an old Kenmore refrigerator. Kool-Aid's such a popular thing, and I'm like, well, shoot, I should at least save the ads when I find them. Where is this plate? Who remembers this Play School? And not because you saw it in an antique store, but because it's being advertised because it's brand new in here. Oh, it's gonna drive me nuts, you guys. So what can we talk about while I'm just aimlessly flipping through this and looking at all the moist, okay, see? So here's a coupon. Save on your next purchase of any flavor, Stir and Frost, 10 cents. Oh, this one expires September 30th, 1979. But some of these things, like there's Bacos in here, and I'm like, Bacos were around in the 70s? Really? Who would have thought? You want to join a book club? Any 4 books for $1. Okay, come on. So, you know how when you know you've got a vacation coming up, and so it's really hard to work that week before the vacation because you just want to be on the vacation? That's where I'm at right now. I'm like, I'm doing my work, but I really, my brain is not in it. It's, I don't know, it's, I just want to be which it's, oh, and here's some Tang. But I want to be on vacation. Now, luckily, we've got the 4th of July, which is a recognized holiday at my office. So I will also get, holy cow, I did, oh, there it is. So I will get that on top of next week. Okay, you guys. So this came in Raggedy Ann and Wizard of Oz. And then these rabbit ones, the rabbit ones are the ones that I had. And I think my parents still have at least the plate. I don't know. I don't think I've seen these recently. Or maybe we only had the plate actually. But yeah, so I was like, I'm like, this was worth the whole magazine to me. And it was only $1.99 for the magazine. So I'm going to enjoy pulling stuff out of there. And then I love finding these anthology kind of books. And so this one's the first 50 Years of Life magazine. And I got it because, I mean, it's got great pictures and stuff from, you know, different layouts, but it also has all of the covers. And, sorry. So I'm going to cut these out and make them as stamps, like stamps. So, I mean, it's like, well, it's chock full of, oh, of course I'm showing all the ones that don't have it, but yeah, there's lots of them. So I love finding books like this because they've always got black and white pictures and some great historical things, and they're not super glossy, so I really like those. All right, so this one, I'd never seen this little golden book before, and originally it even came with 2 plastic bandages so that Dr. Dan could do his work, and I think they were probably right here, but they've of course been torn out. But it's a cute little one. I had not seen this one, like I said, and although it's got a barcode, so it can't be that old, I don't think, but it's not like the Pokey Puppy that you see everywhere. But this one is copyright 1950, renewed in 1977. So yeah, not, I mean, it looks older because it came out in 50, but yeah. And then I found this. So I guess I did have more books in here than I realized, but I still have a bunch that I didn't bring in. But I thought this was cute. Who doesn't like precious moments? And there's just all kinds of fun artwork. Oh, and it's through the year stories, so I can make a calendar because there's a picture for each month. So that would be great for, I probably will laminate it actually so that I can reuse it from year after year. And then we've got Funny Face Domino Game. This was half price. And it's more of these chipboard kind of like the Bible dominoes that I had. And I just thought they were cute and would be cute in a journal envelope or something. So, well, let me just throw it so you can't see what it is. It was the cute cat one. So, picked that up, and hang on a second. I have to send him to voicemail. I forgot to tell them I was filming. So I'd like picking up some of these things just because they seem like they're old, but that doesn't always. And this DK Publishing, I like a lot of the books that they do. And I think DK might be an English company, but I'm not seeing a copyright date on here. So anyway, all right, then I got this kind of hideous looking little storage thing, but I figure it was blue, so again I got it because of that. But I'm thinking that I could cover it with gypsum paper or whatever that I like more, but it's just got these little storage boxes, and I really, really, really want to get organized once I start getting ready for my Labor Day launch, because if I'm gonna do this, if I'm gonna get serious about this, I need to be serious about organizing all of the stuff. All right, then I picked up a Yatsi. This one's not overly exciting or anything, but it did still have a score sheet, and I will have a score sheet ephemera pack because I've got a lot of different kinds of game score sheets. So I kind of just picked it up for that, which seems silly, but they charge more for it on eBay than that, so. And then Clue. Another Clue game. This one's a little bit different than the other Clue game I've picked up recently. And let's see if there's a year on this one. It might be on the part that's torn off. Oh, 1972. So I think this one's a little bit older than the last one I got. And again, oh, this is cool. So yeah, this is definitely got more of a 70s vibe. So yeah, so I'll probably will cut this up to make journal covers out of it. And it had, or I don't know if it's got all the cards or not, but the cards are cool. So was there, okay, Clue the movie is one of my favorite movies, but these are not the people that are in that one. So is there a different movie, an older movie that's got these people in it? Like, these look like they were taken, you know, like they're screenshots of a movie. But anyway, these kind of cards are great in ephemera kits. And it has the wooden meeples, but it is missing the white one, unless it's underneath here or something. And then it did still have, it's got a bunch of filled out ones, but they're blank on the other side. So people like this kind of thing. So what they like, I will provide. And even this, you know, could go in an ephemera pack. So yeah, so I guess the one with Tim Curry was probably in the 80s, right? But, oh, wait a second. Let's look at this for a minute. Okay, I feel like the only person I recognize on this is this guy. But I don't recognize any of the other people. But maybe it was done in England as opposed to America. All right, then, okay, let me take this out. I found in the front of the Salvation Army, there was a couple of boxes that just said $1 items. So I found this box in there, you guys. And yes, it's in bad shape, but I was in love because it's Avon, it's old, and it's got birds and flowers, and I love it so much. Which seems ridiculous, right? It does not have a year on here. And I was like, are they just selling the box? Like, okay, I would pay $1 for this box, but that seems kind of strange, right? You'd think they would have just thrown it away. Well, then I kept digging through because it said, what does it say? It says soap dish and 3 special occasion fragrance soaps. So I kept looking around the bin. Sure enough, I found it. So it's been opened here and it's kind of cracked. So this little birdie is missing its face, I think. Or, yeah, I think that one's is its face. But otherwise, nothing seems to be broken. So now I've got a cool soap dish. And, okay, well, it's kind of musky, whatever the smell is. Does it say what the scent was? No, it just says special occasion fragrance soaps. Well, it may just be due to age, but it is super musky. So I need to do a Google search. Let's make this my thumbnail since I haven't thought of anything to do that for yet. Oh, let's not show my flappy arms. I need to have one of those brachioplasties. Isn't that what it's called? Have I said this before? Go watch Double T's Treasures because she had that done, and I think that would be awesome, but I'll never be able to afford it unless I take out a credit card just to do that. Okay, then Gigi's Garden Notebook for 50 cents, and it's just got little teacups on it. And then this was in the dollar. It's adhesive square label pockets. So I think they're like clear pockets. And I thought that'd be really cool to go on a page in a journal. And there's 20 of them. Well, there was originally 20 of them. I don't know how many there are now. And then these just seemed old to me. So I picked them up, and they're Hallmark. They are, okay, they're birth announcements, but there's no year on there. But they look old to me because of the style of the dress. So I'm thinking maybe like the 80s. So I was really happy about that. And how many is in this one? 12. So that seems like a good deal. And then I picked up a bag of scissors because of this pair right here. I have seen crafters that use scissors like that. This whole bag of scissors was $3.99. And let's see if I can open it a little. You guys, I don't even know if anybody else is in my house right now. Like, I don't know if Gracie went to the movies with everybody. I know Gabby didn't go to the movies. At least I don't think she did. But I don't know about Gracie. That's terrible. Okay, so these are they're padded, cushioned, whatever you want to call it. And okay, well, they're kind of tight. So that doesn't feel very good. But I'll have to get used to these. I'm trying to see if there's I don't see a brand name on here. I feel like Seven Plaza has scissors like this, but you guys, I'm not gonna lie, this is kind of like they stick. Maybe that's why they were given away. I don't see any reason why they should be sticking, and except that it's a design thing. Well, that's kind of disappointing. Then we've got some stickers. Scissors marked Darien. Okay, these work pretty good. And then your basic. I was really hoping there would have been some pinking shears or some fabric scissors, because I could really use a new pair of fabric scissors because I don't know where my fabric scissors are. And I have a whole set of pinking shears. I don't know if you can call all decorative scissors pinking shears, or if pinking shears are specifically for fabric and are diamond cuts. You can let me know in the comments if you know. But I kind of like some that I can use on cloth, and I think the set that I got from Michael's, I think it kind of only works on paper. All right, these scissors were from Target, or they say Target. Those are not bad. Okay, now these, okay, well somebody's cut sticky things with it, it looks like, but these are far scissors. I think these are typically good quality scissors. Would these be fabric scissors? I don't know why I'm thinking that all metal ones have to be fabric scissors, but how do you know? How do you know if scissors are fabric scissors? Aside from when you first buy them and they say fabric scissors. These are just little kid scissors. Oh, now this is good. I already have a pair of these, but these are the kind of scissors you use to take off bandages, because it lifts it up so that you don't accidentally cut the skin. So this is a good pair to have. And then, yeah, see, I need somebody to tell me, are metal scissors just metal scissors, or are they, I mean, they seem kind of different. Now these two need to be cleaned. What does it say on there? I don't know what it says. And I don't think these would be hair cutting scissors, because hair cutting scissors, they would both be like this tip, right? I have metal hair cutting scissors, so I know what that looks like. And then these are like cuticle scissors. You could use these because they have a bent tip. You could use these to cut bindings, the sewn signatures. You could use these to cut the thread. No, you can't play with the scissors. So all of those scissors for $4.99. That was probably a dumb purchase, but oh no, please don't. Oh, she's sitting on the bag, and I still have things in the bag that I want to show you. All right, then, okay, I am constantly, when I go to Salvation Army in particular, finding loose stuff in bins. And I'm like, where's the packaging for this? Because they can't have just put a bunch of loose cards in there. Well, I finally found, well, I don't know if it was the bag for these or not, but it was an empty bag. It said $4.99, and I thought, I will stuff all these cards into this bag because it was an empty bag and they can't be trying to sell all these cards by themselves. So I think the majority of them are Christmas themed. Maybe all of them are Christmas themed. I don't know. But somebody was saying in the crafting world, you know, they needed to start getting their Christmas items in their shop, and I'm like, crap. Why is this? Why do these holidays go so quickly? Yeah, so that one's a nicer one, wrapped in, but then most of these are, I'm sure, the kind that you just get a whole set of, right? A whole box of. Just trying to look through and see if there's anything that's not Christmas. There's another one that was single wrap. Oh, there's several of those. Cardinals. So, yeah, I don't send out Christmas cards. Is anybody surprised? I don't have any friends, so I don't need to send out cards. But these would be great to cut up and use. And the fact that it's got decorative envelopes, those you can stick right in to a journal and have, you know, flippy-doos. That's the technical word for it, is flippy-doos. Okay, so yeah, so they appear to all be Christmas, which is kind of a bummer, but that's okay. I mean, it's a blue million cards in here. And I did check, there wasn't a second bag to where half of them should have gone in one bag and half of them in another. And $4.99 for this kind of amount of cards is reasonable in a thrift store. Here I am justifying myself. But you guys, the store really, it's never very clean. Probably because what little money they get, they're spending on rent. But I'm still going to be sad to see them go. Because I do like them better than the Goodwill. The Goodwill's just gotten too pricey. Now, it's still cheaper than antique stores, but... Okay, was that it? Peanut? I think... Oh, the Sterilite Container. All right, let's see if I can... I'm not going to put it on top of Peanut, but... Put it over here so I can pull stuff out. Oh, yeah. Get your hand out. Okay, whatever. She wants her hand in there. So a set of gift boxes. I liked the design, and it'd be a thicker cardstock. There were two. I think I got these at St. Vincent de Paul's. Two of these. They are GMAC Financial Services. I don't know. They're pads of paper, and I like having different sizes and shapes of pads of paper. And yeah, it's just all GMAC. Okay, she's not complaining, so I guess the arm that I can't see is fine. And then a little box, a Rolodex box that I got for the tabbed letter tabs because they're cute and small. And then another, so these people, when they got married, gave cards, and fortunately it's not that picture for the actual deck of cards, but it was a cute deck of cards. And there's the ace. I collect the aces from the decks that I get. And so yeah, so I like that. And then this was from the Savers. You know how they have that wall where they bag stuff up? These, I think, are origami papers. So my son loves to make origami things. So there's five of these. This one's actually open. So it's got a nice little thing there. And then, yeah, these may not be new. These could have come from that, Daiso store. So just a bunch of origami sheets. So I probably will just give that to him because it's not really my style for journaling. It's not quite as vintagey as I like. And then there were also big pads. I don't know if this is a good price. So this one was $2.99 and the small one was $2.99. I don't know if that's a good price for origami paper. I have bought that off of Temu before, but I don't remember what it cost. Okay. So then there was a 4-pack of cards. And we've got Heritage of England cards. Sorry, I feel like I'm so far away now because I had stuff. Oh, we've got Nebraska. Now, I have not started selling state and kind of travel cards, so Jason got these. Then we've got Chateau de la Loire. So 4 decks for $3.49, and then 3 decks for $3.49. So we've got a Paulson playing cards. Okay, I can't tell what this is. Oh, Hard Rock Cafe. no, Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. So, and these have got the corners cut because they were probably used at the casino and they, oh, now that's, oh wait, it's colored on. What? That's okay, this one's not. But, oh, yeah, and these are, I guess, like the jumbo cards. But yeah, all these casinos, once they take their decks out of circulation, they either chop the corners off or they drill a hole in them. Okay, so there was that, and then, oh, here's the president one. So I'm gonna put this one together with the White House. And are these actual like playing cards, or are these like trivia cards? Okay, well, they have a nice flag on them, and then, okay, well, they are playing cards, but it looks like there's trivia and stuff. Stop that. Trivia and stuff on boxes are not for eating. So yeah, so stop. Okay. So those are kind of then interesting because each number is a different president or something like that. So, and it's got, oh, this tells you who is on each card. So did we only went up to Polk. Because then the Queen is the White House and the King is the president and executive power. Okay, you guys, now I'm gonna say something here that is gonna make me sound stupid, okay? But you know how there are the Mandela effect, where, and it was named after what, because some people thought Nelson Mandela was killed in prison in the 80s, but he really wasn't. The Berenstain Bears is another one. You know how you spell Berenstain Bears. Some people remember it one way, some people remember it another way. Fruit Loops, is it fruit like the fruit, or is it F-R-O-O-T? That's another one. Well, for me, and I'm the only one that has this problem, but I am convinced, I obviously learned and memorized incorrectly when I was in grade school, but I was convinced that the Adams presidents were 2 and 4, and they were not 2 and 4. They were really 2 and 6. And so I was convinced that some point along the way, somebody changed history and it reversed the order, because the reason why I thought this was because of when the Bushes came, right? Because there was Bush, then Clinton, and then Bush. And I was like, oh, well, it's just like the Adamses. No, Amy, it's not just like the Adamses. So yeah, so I have determined that somebody has changed history to where now it's in the order that all you people remember, but I remember the real order, and obviously I'm just wrong, and learned it wrong. But yeah, that's one of those things where it's like, it's hard for me, surprise, surprise, to admit that I'm wrong when I am wrong about stuff. And so yeah, so I don't want to let that go, even though it makes me sound ridiculous. All right, this one is another one that's kind of like a history kind of thing. So these are little critters, and then they've got different animals on here. So yeah, interesting. I don't know. All right, so that's the end of the haul, but I am trying to get a mailing list going because I want to release, I want to give people early access to my Etsy sale, all that stuff, and I would like to start oh, there was one other thing. I would like to start sending people something for their birthday, like a digital something for their birthday. And if I have news or coupons or whatever, I want, I just want a mailing list. I'm not selling the list to anybody. I'm not spamming people with it. But so I have a link below if you would like to join my mailing list for these early access kinds of things. And if you do that, you will receive a free access to a free digital when you do that. Now I know not all of you use digitals and crafting and stuff, but maybe you know somebody that does. I don't know. But I wanted to show you what I created for this. I was super excited. You guys know I've got those seed envelopes from Temu, and I just like flowers and stuff. So I created these seed packets, and look, it's from Junk for Goats Seed Company, 10 cents, and I tried to do it in kind of the early 1900s kind of lithograph style. So we've got pansies, and I just printed them off, and I have a digital for ledger paper, so I just printed the ledger paper on the back. And then we've got lilacs and delphinium, and they're kind of the size that you know makes a good journal card or a tuck spot or something. Cornflower, foxglove, primrose, zinnia, and hollyhock. So there's a set of 8, and that will be my thank you for signing up for my membership list, my mailing list, or whatever. So yeah, so that's my thank you. It comes with 4 digitals. It's all of this, but there's two PDFs, and then there's 2 PNG files, and then there's, in each of those, one of them is like a full page, no borders, and then another one is borders. So yeah, so I was really kind of proud of this. So I posted that to my posts in community feed, but nobody really sees that. So if you're so inclined and want to sign up for freebies and stuff, please do so. All right, so the last thing here is this metal thing. And why did I pick this up? Because I've been getting a bunch of these lately. Well, it also had a bunch of these in it. And these were tri-tab ones, and whereas the other ones I've been getting have been like 5 across. So yeah, so I just picked it up for those. $2.99. All right, I think finally that really is it. And it's still hot in here, but it's not quite as hot. It'll be so nice to sleep with a cover on tonight. It's not fun sleeping with no covers. It's just hot. All right, let's do our nostalgic TV trivia. Let's hope it's a good card, you guys. The last few have been duds. All right, who starred as Constance Mackenzie on Peyton Place? Who runs the diner on the waterfront on the soap General Hospital? Yogi Bear first appeared on what cartoon show? Betty White ran what cooking show on the Mary Tyler Moore Show? Who was the executive producer of Little House on the Prairie? What 2 policemen worked as a team on Chips? Name the family butler on The Addams Family. Who played Waldo on The Life of Riley? Okay, I might get a couple of these, but let's not jinx myself. Okay, who starred as Constance Mackenzie on Peyton Place? There have been so many questions on these cards about Peyton Place, and I don't know. And I choose not to remember the answers of the ones we do talk about, so I don't know. I don't know. I can't even guess. Who runs the diner on the waterfront on the soap General Hospital? Well, it's Frank, of course. Yogi Bear first appeared on what cartoon show? Well, I'm guessing it's not. Wasn't there a cartoon called Yogi Bear? I mean, he was the one that fights forest fires, right? Or is that Smokey the Bear? See, I can't do cartoons. If I'm gonna have to guess which cartoon he first appeared on, I'm just gonna say the Flintstones because I don't know, and I don't know. We learned that the Flintstones were Hanna-Barbera, I think. And maybe Yogi Bear is too. I don't know. I'm guessing, you guys. I'm saying the Flintstones. Betty White ran what cooking show on the Mary Tyler Moore Show? So I started making Jason watch the Bob Newhart show last night. And I was toying with if I should make him watch that or the Mary Tyler Moore Show. Well, we went with that because he likes Bob Newhart's comedic timing and stuff. But maybe we'll go to the Mary Tyler Moore Show after that. But anyway, Betty White, well, she was not very nice on that show, right? But I don't know what her cooking show was called. And I can't think of what her name was on the show. It wasn't just Betty, was it? Because like Phyllis was Phyllis. Wait, no, Cloris was Phyllis. Okay, well, never mind. I have no idea. I can't even. It's been long enough that I can't remember. Who was the executive producer of Little House on the Prairie? Well, the answer better be Michael Landon. Now, it could be like Ed Friendly or, gosh, I've watched through that series probably 6 or 7 times. And Don Dortort. But obviously Michael Landon was the star and the producer, so it better be him. What 2 policemen worked as a team on Chips? Well, Ponch, right? Was Eric Estrada. But what was the other guy's name? John? Ponch and John? I don't know. And then of course the captain or the lieutenant or whoever was Chris Pine's dad. So that's always fun. Okay. Name the family butler on the Addams Family. Please tell me it's Lurch and that Lurch is not really the Munsters. But I'm going to say Lurch. And who played Waldo on The Life of Riley? Frank. Okay. Oh, that's funny. So the answer to the first question from the other side was Frank. Okay. Who starred as Constance Mackenzie on Peyton Place? Dorothy Malone. Who runs the diner on the waterfront on the Soap General Hospital? Rose. Yogi Bear first appeared on what cartoon show? The Huckleberry Hound Show. Betty White ran what cooking show on the Mary Tyler Moore Show? Happy Homemaker. Now, was she married? I thought she was single, wasn't she? Not that makes a difference with the homemaker, but I feel like the name homemaker from that period of time meant the wife who stays home kind of thing. So that's funny. So Happy Homemaker. Well, okay. Who was the executive producer on The Little House on the Prairie? Michael Landon. Now, why have there not been more questions about Little House on the Prairie? This was done in '84, and that's kind of when Little House on the Prairie ended. Why are there not any other questions about that show on here? I mean, he was one of the, I don't know if he held the record for TV Guide covers for a while, but he's was on TV Guide covers a lot. Okay. And apparently, if you're on the cover of TV Guide a lot, there should be more questions about you, is what I'm trying to say. Name the family butler on the Addams Family. It was Lurch. Oh, I skipped one. What 2 policemen worked as a team on Chips? It was John Baker, with no H, and Frank Poncharello. And then who played Waldo on The Life of Riley? Sterling Holloway. So I got Michael Landon, John Baker, Frank Poncherello, and Lurch. So I got 3. So that's pretty good for me. So I hope you did well. Let me know in the comments. And you guys, I'm hoping, I can't remember if I filmed 3 or 4 videos on my phone, but I'm hoping to get those off of my phone and published. Like I can't just upload them to YouTube because they're the ones that are the ASMR, so I need sound to add sound to them, which is why I hate editing. So yeah, so that'll take me a little bit. I don't know, we'll try to get it up soon. But anyway, thank you for keeping me company while I'm recovering from the heat. And I just want to thank, if you have somebody in your family that works in the service industry and the HVAC industry, I appreciate them because it's hot. It's almost like the guys that are putting roofs on this time of year, and you're like, oh my gosh, they've got to be melting. So yeah, I appreciate people that know how to fix those kind of things, even if it is expensive. But I'm thankful to have air conditioning where most of the world does not, so I don't know why I'm sitting here complaining. But anyway, thank you for spending time with me. If you are a member of my channel, thank you so much. If you are a subscriber, if you are a viewer, well, obviously, if you've gotten this far, you're a viewer. Thank you so much. Your support means the world to me. Please check out my description below so that you can see the links for my Etsy shop, my Whatnot shop, and my coffee shop. The coffee shop is where I sell my digitals. And there are freebies in my coffee shop. So, and I'm trying to, every time I create a new set, I'm trying to create one freebie to go with it. So be sure to check that out if you are someone who likes using digitals in your crafting. And thank you. Thank you for all of the support. It's been a rocky ride, right? So I just appreciate, we're just gonna sit and have fun. This is July. There's a chance, maybe I should save these videos that I filmed for while I'm gone on vacation. But maybe I'm kind of hoping I can film a couple of how-to videos while I'm on vacation where I can like film the kitchen that I'm in and stuff. So maybe I've got lofty goals, so we'll see. But otherwise, I hope that wherever you are, whenever you are, you're having a great day. And until we meet again, take care of yourself. Bye.